The time is 7:48 p.m. It is Sunday, February 4th, the year 2024. 7:48 p.m. EST time. That is 4:48 p.m. PST. All right, 7:48 PST. Excuse me, 7:48 EST, 4:48 PST. Sunday, February 4th, 7:48 New York City time. And this is a follow-up. And this is a new addition to our sewage and our plumbing, plumbing remedies and sewage solution design and regulations. So I'm about to get into some ideas, some plumbing ideas, some hygiene ideas. So this is just for development. So this isn't an official public notice because we already have those regulations written and we have public notice. Right, so there is a 1 max per month roll per person. We're talking toilet tissue. All right, so let me iterate to everyone that I don't just implement rules and not obey them. All right, so the guidelines that we implement on Platinum TV, I'll follow. All right, now the 1 roll per person per month, that's newly implemented, and I have a roll of toilet tissue that's not even halfway done, and I've had it for about 3 weeks. So I'm abiding by my own regulations. All right, we have to keep in mind that we are trying to preserve our planet. All right, so we have to be responsible for our own waste. So these rules are necessary. All right, and they didn't just start when I discovered, my purpose. All right, my concern for the world, my concern for animals, my concern for others, my concern for family, that didn't just appear out of anywhere. All right, that didn't just all of a sudden become who Tariq Grant is. Tariq Grant's always been this way. So even considering plumbing and being responsible with our own waste, I've always been thoughtful of that. And once I became educated, I became even more mindful, and I started to take steps towards being responsible with my own waste, starting with recycling. Now, I didn't just start recycling thoroughly these past few years. All right, it started approximately 2012. All right, that's when I was enrolled in Lehman College, and I took a green economy class. All right, or green ecology, similar when you use the term green. But if you're talking economy and ecology, it can be different. All right. Economy is usually commerce involved. Right. Ecology is earth involved. So since 2012, approximately, I've been recycling thoroughly. All right. Once I start something, I do it thoroughly. All right. So since 2012, I've been recycling my cans and containers and condiment condiment disposals. All right. Thoroughly. Now, can I say I was perfect? No. But I know once I start something, I try not to be lazy at it. Right. With even with the heavy duty stuff. All right. But like I said, I'm not perfect. But very, very considerate of the planet, and do understand that if I am creating an exception to my rule or to my house, it is an exception and it's not to be taken advantage of. All right. Now, since I discovered my purpose to re-grant the profit, of course I have to be more mindful and I have to be a better example and I have to really consider the planet, because what I was doing was not enough. What everyone is doing is not enough. So now we talking about our plumbing. All right. Now, this is not the first time I thought about that. I've always thought about, the design. Like, how does that work? Is it efficient? Is it helping our planet? Right. And then we have all these sewage issues. So I've always wondered, what's the end result of all this waste? So now we have to be more responsible, because the end result is we are destroying each other somehow or some way or the other. We are destroying each other. All right. And we do appreciate our live viewers. It is Sunday, February 4th, and it is evening. Time is 7:56 p.m. New York City time. So now everyone has to be more responsible of their waste. All right. If you think about animals, animals are more considerate, right? Just by nature. All right. That their design, animals and nature, it is all recycled thoughtfully. All right. And then we have to include air. Right. Air is a very efficient manager of waste. All right. So we have to include air in our design. That is mandatory. That is almost necessary. Like there is no other way. All right. Air and less water. All right. So if you think of when a dog uses the bathroom, all right, it it's a regular activity for our pets, right? But you know, they usually find that we usually do it in grass, dirt, and that becomes fertilizer for the land. All right. So everything can be recycled. So even human waste should be managed more efficiently to not create so much harm and toxin and poison, which has a universal effect. All right. So let's start being considerate. So we've also implemented a sewage flush. All right. That's a once a week sewage flush. You need tea tree oil and frankincense oil. All right. Now, when I purchased my last batch of tea tree oil, I did not expect to use it for sewage. All right. But we have to be responsible and we have to realize that our sewage needs cleaning. All right. So this flush helps. All right. And along with toilet detergent, toilet bowl detergent. All right. So usually that's just like a hanging cleaning appliance. All right. That dispenses some type of detergent, you know, with every flush. All right. So that is necessary. All right. That's responsible. Along with our sewage flush, you apply 6 drops of tea tree oil and 3 drops of frankincense oil. That's 9 drops total to a gallon of faucet water, tap water. All right. And you pour all that down the toilet, and that's a sewage flush once a week. All right. And then you take another gallon and you divide that with the remainder with the rest of your drainage. All right, with your plumbing, right? Sink, tub, bathroom sink, etc. All right. So I've implemented that once a week, and since I've implemented, I've administered my sewage flush once a week. All right, and I don't have frankincense, so I have to buy. But the solution, you know, instructs to use just more of what you have. All right, but the frankincense is necessary. All right, because I have a little magic on that. That's going to help with all of our past neglected responsibilities when it comes to the bathroom. All right, so this is just about better bathroom hygiene. All right, now along with the mandates, all right, and the toilet tissue limit, we also cannot flush toilet tissue down down the toilet anymore. All right, so my real simple solution is we have like a separate air vacuum flush for the toilet tissue. All right, so there's all type of methods to handle used toilet tissue. All right, with the air vacuum flush. You can even put it in a vacuum sealed bag yourself and seal up toilet tissue and then get rid of it later. All right. So, but that's just an idea for design for the building, for building design to understand that it's not going to be that difficult to get rid of unused toilet tissue. We just can't clog up our toilets. All right. So we have a vacuum design, an air vacuum design toilet tissue flush. All right. Now, all of this should be collected responsibly because we have to get rid of the toilet tissue at the end of the day. All right. So this should be a regular routine. All right. We shouldn't collect pileup of this stuff. All right. If you do it daily, it's no big deal, especially with what we're talking about. So we're gonna have to get rid of the toilet tissue, and the best way is incinerating it. All right. But if we collect it responsibly, all right, and use technology responsibly, it can be efficient to our earth. All right. And then we have to use air. All right. So with these combined methods, all right, we can make a more eco-friendly planet. All right, green ecology. So we all have to think about preserving, and we all have to understand that your waste is your waste. It's going to affect your air. It's going to affect your lifespan. All right, so I am an example. We all have time to adjust. And I appreciate all of our live viewers. All right. It is Sunday, February 4th, approximately 8 o'clock p.m. The exact time is 8:03 p.m. New York City time. It is Sunday, February 4th. And yesterday, during an announcement, yesterday during my YouTube live, I mentioned that it was Sunday. I did recall the right date. I did state the right date, but I mentioned that it was Sunday. So that was a mistake on my live broadcast on YouTube. But I can correct that in my description, like I always do. But that live stream, it didn't turn out exactly how I wanted anyway. And YouTube likes to hold on to your footage for hours. All right. So this is why you can't depend on these live streams. Excuse me. All right, so now we have our plumbing design. And I think we could wrap up after this. All right, this is for the developers. All right. First of all, we really have to utilize the air. All right, we could think about how animals use the bathroom in nature. We could think about how dogs use the bathroom regularly amongst us. All right, less harmful to the planet and doesn't create much discomfort for humans. All right, for people. All right, so we have to think plenty of air. All right, now we can even be creative with gardens. All right, with smaller, created gardens. All right, to help with the use, the removal of human waste. All right, as fertilizer. All right, so that's going to eventually grow vegetables that can, take care of a home. Right. This is just being creative, understanding that we need air to get rid of waste. And we could think about how dogs use the bathroom, nature, and we could think about mushrooms. Mushrooms are similar, all right, to human waste. All right, they're waste from trees almost. You could think of it like that. Right, they are a type of fungus, fungi, mushrooms. All right, it's a healthy bacteria. All right, why? Because it's produced in nature. All right. And it promotes a healthy digestive system. All right. Now, if you leave mushrooms out, all right, once they are plucked from the ground, if you leave mushrooms out, they they decompose naturally just by the air. So they'll shrink and shrink and shrink, and eventually, you know, the mushroom will be decomposed completely. All right. Now, if you add the help of nature, that even helps, right? Excuse me. So waste is similar. Human waste is similar. So if you just use air properly and open space and no water, all right. So now we have to think about a design. First of all, we have a bunch of equipment, cleaning equipment, um, elevator design, and treadmill design. So we could figure this out. Roller coaster design, right? This doesn't have to be internal, right? The way my bathroom is set up is near a window. My tub, my toilet is near a window. So that means this could be an outdoor, you know, transfer type setup. Outdoor transfer disposal unit, elevator shaft, outdoor type of setup like that. All right. So to give you an idea, let's think of when we was first growing up, potty trained. All right. So that's basically when we grew up, we used a makeshift toilet. All right. And our parents, you know, they took our waste from the makeshift toilet to the regular toilet and flushed it. So we could think of a design like that. All right. So your house, your bathroom, I have like a built-in shaft near the toilet functioning, and once you flush, right, one tray goes out, another tray goes in your toilet. All right. The tray that goes out, it goes up to the roof or up to wherever you have the open space at. All right. And the tray gets transferred to another machine, which then takes the tray and dumps everything in one like uh, waste basket. All right. Now that waste that waste basket can be considered like a pool area, right? But the floor should be able to lift up and down. So cleaning is easy to dispose, you know, to once, and so air can get to it easy. All right. So now you should think about cleaning and have jets that can automatically clean that tray. All right. Or, well, that plus you have to consider the air hitting it first. All right. So maybe you have to transfer that tray to an air unit. I mean, to a, you know, open air, and just let the air affect it before you even worry about cleaning it. Right. Let the air hit it. Let the air decompose of the waste. Once it dries up, it's easy to handle anyway. So you can just, it's like when the horses, you know, horse manure, right? They just sweep it up, right? No big deal, no fuss. All right. So we just have to think about how we're getting rid of our waste. All right. Because if you think about that design, anyone could work there. All right. Because the machinery is doing all the work. And we're just managers. All right. And then we have high powered fans that's going to make sure the air is being properly cleansed. All right. And then we have tea tree oil and diffusers. All right. To use that properly, not ongoing because you don't want too much moisture. So you have to use it effectively. Let the regular air do its job and use the diffusers as like an air freshener. All right. right? And that's going to clean the remainder of the air. Then the air can do more job and get rid of that. So we have to be managers of air, all right? Moisture is not always good. Moisture can affect, all right, your cleaning environment with humidity and adding more debris, all right, and causing like blocks, all right, like clouds and mist, right, when you're trying to effectively clean. So that goes along with our waste, all right. That's why you use as less water as you can, all right. The water should be in the transferring process, all right, so that our waste bins, all right, can be easily cleaned, all right. Soon as it transfers, all right, its waste is into the pool, that gets cleaned. High powered heat, high powered, a little bit of hot water, right? Um, Jets, all right. You could think car wash, all right. So right after the trays are used, you can put them through a car wash, all right, and manage that, all right. And then that has to be uh, managed properly so that we're not wasting energy, all right. But we get the idea because all of that energy can be run off of solar energy, all right, and mechanical energy, all right. We can power treadmills and exercise bikes, all right. And we can use them as generators with, to create energy for generators, all right, which can power our own buildings and power our own designs. So I don't have all the answers, all right, but that's a good base to start with, all right. That's a good base to start with. We have the air vacuum toilet tissue, all right, dispensers, toilet tissue waste removal. We have the detergent dispensers for the toilet. We have the sewage flush. We have the one toilet tissue per person rule per month. We have understanding of how nature gets rid of waste, and we could do the same and even be creative with it instead of just letting it decompose. All right. We do have to get rid of the toilet tissue and incinerate the toilet tissue daily. All right. So these are jobs that I would sign up for because that's a stay-at-home job. Right. That's in your building. You just got to manage the equipment. So I would sign up for that. All right. And I don't need no incentive, $50, $60 an hour to do it. I do it for the regular rate, $20 if that's what the job pays. All right. But we all can do a job for 4 hours a day. All right. So let's not be picky about what the job is. Doesn't matter. So I think that's about it. Oh, and here's where I've had to here's where I've had to adjust my own use of toilet tissue. All right, because I previously used I previously used more than the roll per month. All right, so I had to adjust. And guess what I realized? If you use a fan, all right, which I've used anyway in the bathroom, but not necessarily to dry it, off my butt. But if you use a fan, and plus you got to realize when you're sitting in the tub, when you're sitting on the toilet bowl, right, that water in the toilet bowl, that moisture is affecting you. All right. So it affects you when you wipe. All right. But if you dry your butt off a little bit, right? I'm not talking a whole lot. Just dry your butt off a little bit, and make sure your butt is a little bit dry, and then wipe. All right, and use the toilet tissue efficiently. What I realized is that we use a whole lot of toilet tissue, and then when we wipe, we throw a whole lot of toilet tissue away. All right. So what I've done in the past anyway was I've used both sides of the toilet tissue. When I wipe, I use the other side and wipe. Right. You just wipe and ball it up. Right. Then it's easy to use the other side. Right. So that's what I've always done. All right. Um, uh, but I still use too much of it. All right. So now I don't use that much when I wipe. All right. It's simple. And sometimes the first time you wipe, you may have to use a little bit more. All right. So you have to be mindful that we can only use 1 month. All right. But you still don't have to throw all of that toilet tissue away. All right. And if you use a little bit at a time after that, everyone should be able to die. All right. And guess what? Me, I just developed the habit of not throwing stuff away. All right. When I know it can be used. So guess what? Guess what I realized? All right. That little bit of toilet tissue that I use to wipe to make sure I'm thoroughly wiped, I use that one and then I grab another little one and wipe and thoroughly wipe. That toilet tissue can be reused. All right. But I'm not saying everyone should do that. I'm just saying the design I have, I throw it in the tub because the tub is dry and I ain't worried about it. And I just throw the fan on in the tub and it's only a few little toilet and it's not soiled. I already could see like that. There's really nothing on there. But for me, I know I'm clean. All right. It was enough to thoroughly wipe. Right. After that first wipe, the second, third, fourth, fifth, however many wipes, it don't have to be that much tissue. And I still use both sides of the tissue, even when I wipe with the small tissue. But after that first wipe, it's nothing really. It's no big deal, right? So there's a mandate for everyone to you can't flush the toilet tissue down the toilet anymore, except Tariq Grant. He's the only one with that benefit in the world, right? And I deserve that benefit. But I'm also giving us an incentive to make sure we all have this vacuum flush somewhere down the line, or figure out another way. Because like I said, you can put it in the bag yourself and vacuum seal it and figure out how to get rid of it. All right. So that's not a big deal. Right. And me, what I've done is I put it in the tub, all right, and throw the fan on. Right. And then I reuse that toilet tissue. All right. So that's why I'm still on. That's why I'm still on. I haven't used a whole lot of toilet tissue in a month because I had to tweak my use, and I realized some things. All right. So even I'm not taking advantage of the benefit of being able to flush my toilet tissue. I'm trying to figure out how everyone can be all right with the rules. All right. And not take advantage of that one rule that's been a benefit, not just that one. All right. But the rules that I benefit from, I deserve them. All right. Like hot water whenever I want. All right. I deserve that benefit. All right. So, and I've lived a life abiding by the mandates of the majority. All right. So I lived a life where I had to deal with not having hot water and figuring out a good way to take a bath that way. And my way was I just keep the water off and I soap up and I grab a cup and I fill a cup up with cold water and I splash the cold water on me like that inside the tub. All right. So that was my solution of dealing with not having hot water sometimes. I'm still clean though. All right. Now, um, I really don't like taking cold showers. All right. That is a pet peeve of mine. I can't stand that. All right. So I deserve that as manager of peace, ruler, and authoritarian, and the prophet of earth and beyond. I deserve to not have to worry about hot water when I'm taking a shower. especially now when I take a shower like twice a week. All right, I should not have to worry about hot water. All right, even if I was taking a shower every day. All right, and I should not have to worry about my toilet tissue when I'm creating solutions for the world. All right, that should be my piece. I did my job into the world, figure it out, and get me a vacuum disposal, toilet tissue disposal. All right. So my tip is grab a portable fan, something small. It could be the size of your smartphone. All right, and use that in the bathroom with you, and that'll help. All right. So I think I've done my part, and let me reiterate that I am not taking advantage of resources and authority. All right. So I suggest everyone stop questioning. All right, and understand that the rules, right? Everyone benefits for being creative and being innovative and doing what they can. All right, and not trying to nitpick and scrutinize the boss. All right, because every time you do that, you realize that I'm still doing more than the world. All right. So let's all be more like Tariq Grant, which is enjoy your day and try to figure out your next best move in terms of employment, right? Create a hobby that you might can educate the world on. All right. And that is how Tariq Grant's story um, unfolds. All right. So these are hobbies and pastime thoughts, all right, that eventually turn into, all right, now this thought is ready. I can share it. All right. I don't have to design it myself. All right. But I can share it with the world because we need help. Now, everyone needs to stick to this the sewage flush, the toilet tissue mandates. All right. One roll per month. No flushing down the toilet. All right. Um, and I gave you ideas of how to do that. All right. And now you know that it's been close to going on 3 weeks or more since I implemented these regulations, and I followed them as strict as I can because my benefits I gain from doing that. Right? I get rewards from the animals, from the planet. All right. So another reward I get from the planet is I do still get to purchase some protein products that I've already normally that I've gained that I've grown accustomed to, that my diet has grown accustomed to, and I still don't take advantage of that. All right. So those are a few benefits that I have that eventually I won't even need to use. All right, because the world will adapt around me, especially the bathroom. Right, that's mandatory. Like understand what sewage is and how plumbing works in the past. It's not very thoughtful. All right, so that's mandatory for everyone. Right, so eventually everyone will have a system where going to the bathroom is still regular. All right, and food will become plant-based, but it'll replace your protein alternatives. All right, just as good. All right, so that's it for this update. Um, this really was a plumbing remedies and sewage solution update.